Functionalism. Functionalism is the quality of being useful, of serving a purpose other than adding beauty or aesthetic value. Louis Sullivan's form follows function has now been accepted by most modern architects. Few items can find their way into design without performing some specific functions or job. Functionalism has led to extreme applications of simplicity in design. Simplicity and functionalism complete each other. Together, they produce a desired result. So we have also freedom. So freedom of expression, freedom in the use of space, and structural freedom in the design characterize modern architecture. So Eduardo Turoja used great imaginative powers in working together with reinforced and pre-stressed concrete. So using the forms of folded, undulating, or warped shapes, he designed structures having fluid continuity, beauty, and freedom. He said that complete freedom of expression can be achieved by using flexible materials that allow the designer to express ideas with freedom and independence. So we have also relationship, relating the areas of the structure to each other and to its environment that become a well-established principle of modern design. Eero Saarinen proved that functional form need not be rigid and box-like. This design have the appearance of gigantic pieces of sculpture. They are gracefully molded with rhythmically curving and flowing lines. This concrete shell structure shows the influence of the style known as Expressionism. They also show a perfect understanding and use of space. These designs are dramatic departure from the regularity of conventional styles. So we have also technology. Technological advances now allow the designer to build large structures of light materials to erect building quickly and design the utmost in structural safety into buildings. So we have the design factors. Design activities may be formal or informal. Informal design occurs when a product is made by the designer without the use of a plan. Okay, so example on this, pag nagpatayo ka ng bahay na walang plano, that is informal. Then formal design involves the complete preparation of a set of working drawings. Buildings are designed formally. A complete set of working drawings must be prepared before the actual construction begins. Therefore, the major design activity occurs during the preparation of sketches, plans, and detailed drawings. So, kailangan natin ng detailed drawings bago ipatayo yung structure. Design factors are consideration that must be met when a system or a structure is designed to ensure it will satisfy the working requirements. For example, an engineer designing a bridge might need it be able to carry 1,000 cars per hour. So the design factor create a basic minimum standard that the engineer must consider when developing the factor of safety. So this involves the maximum strain a system can take before it fails and should always be higher than the design factor to prevent problems. So, kailangan natin yung factor of safety. So, the design factor create a basic minimum standard that the engineer must consider when developing the factor of safety or safety factor. So when project is in development, the individual or organization commissioning it will provide some specifications on what kind of stresses the system need to endure. This can include environmental factors like extreme heat or cold, physical stress in the form of weight and moving objects, and so forth. For structure, seismic factors must be incorporated, while something like a piece of equipment needs to be able to handle a set number of operations per hour. So a safety specialist may work closely with the construction project manager to ensure a new facility meets proper design factors and is equipped adequately to handle emergencies. So the engineer uses this information to establish the design factors. This represents the tolerance the project has to meet in order to satisfy the needs of the owner. Next, the engineer considers an appropriate safety factor to create a margin of error. The engineer might decide that the finished project should be able to endure 10 times the projected strain, or, for instance, this ensures that it will continue to function in high-stress situations. Okay, when a project is in development, thus commissioning, it will provide some specifications on stresses the system needs to endure. In addition to considering physical limitations on a project, engineer may also consider other topics like environmental and social impacts. This can be an important part of the design factors and make the difference between a project, a sustainable project, and a failure. For instance, in designing a high-speed train, engineers need to think about noise abatement to limit noise pollution and keep neighboring communities happy with the train. Likewise, engineers might think about the sources of raw materials on the project to determine whether it is possible to obtain in a more environmentally friendly way. So engineers typically discuss the design and safety factors in the technical specifications for a project. This information is spelled out to make sure everyone involved is familiar with the limits and requirements. In addition, if something goes wrong, it can be important to determine how and why engineers calculated the design factors. This will show whether the problem was a genuine, unforeseen issue or the result of a mistake on the part of the design team. So civil engineering projects have very specific design factors that ensure the public remains safe when tunnels, bridges, and roadways are in use. And we have the basic elements of design. So understanding the fundamentals of design is the first step to creative, cohesive, and harmonious visuals. When we look at a design piece, our eyes are looking at the composition. By carefully and thoughtfully arranging elements on a page, you are able to portray more than just visuals. Design is made up of basic elements built into a structure that communicates a message. These elements are the building blocks you need to construct your design. These objects can be arranged in any way as part of your composition. We call these principles of design. These principles are important concepts that can help you organize the basic structural elements on a page. So what are the elements of design? So think of the elements of design as the ingredients you need for a recipe. These basic components are essential in art and design and how can visually construct pieces. Each element is a crucial part of visual message, and the combination of this has an impact on how the design is perceived. You can use this element alone or in a combination with each other depending on what you're looking to achieve. The main elements are, we have line, color, shape, space, texture, typography, scale, dominance and emphasis, balance and harmony. So a solid understanding of these concepts gives you the ability to understand your design pieces and others you come across. You'll be able to dissect a design piece and see the behind scene process. Let's take a closer look at each element to have a better understanding on how they work and how to use them. So we have line. The first and most basic element of design is that of the line. In drawing, a line is the stroke of the pen or pencil, but in graphic design, it's any two connected points. Lines are useful for dividing space and drawings the eye of the specific location. For example, think about how a magazine uses lines to separate content, headlines, and side panels. Here are a few examples of what we traditionally think of when we think of lines. So, ito yung mga lines natin. Okay, we have further reading about lines. Explore the power of lines to create visual interest in your design projects with these geometric background patterns. Okay, so we can make on this when we are dealing with the design of the project. Then next is color. So, kailangan natin ng color combination in any structure. Kailangan mayroon tayong contrast of color in such a way that the design will be good. Okay, so color is one of the most obvious elements of design. For both the user and the designer, it can stand alone as a background or be applied to other elements like lines, shapes, textures, or typography. Color creates a mood with the piece and tell a story about the brand. Every color says something different, and combination can alter that impression further. Okay, so we have here the colors. The next we have shape. Shapes, geometrics or organic, add interest. Shapes are defined by boundaries, such as lines or colors, and they are often used to emphasize a portion of the page. Everything is ultimately a shape, so you must always think in terms of how the various elements of your design are creating shapes and how those shapes are interacting. So we have here the different types of shapes. The next is space. Negative space is one of the most commonly underutilized and misunderstood aspects of designing for the page. The parts of the site that are left blank, whether that's white or some other color, help to create an overall image. Use negative space to create shapes as you would any other element. Check out this article if you're interested in learning more about frequently used design terms like negative space. Okay, so this is a space. Then we have next, texture. It's counterintuitive to think about texture when the piece isn't ever going to be touched. So textures can create a more three-dimensional appearance on this two-dimensional surface. It also helps build an immersive world. Okay, so ito yung texture. Then next is typography. Perhaps the single most important part of graphic and web design is typography. Like color, texture, and shapes, the fonts you use tell readers your serious online news magazines, a playful food blog, or a vintage teen shop. Words are important, but the style of the word is equally essential. The shop owners have created flexible font families that can make your text look distinctive and memorable. Okay, so the combination of different typography of letter Then we have scale. Playing with the scale and size of your object, shapes, types, and other elements add interest and emphasis. How boring would the symmetrical website with all similarly sized ingredients be? Vary, but amount of variation will depend heavily on the content within subtle difference suit professional content. While bold ones refer creative enterprise. Then next is the elements of design. So nauna kanina, the basic design principles. Okay, ito yung mga main elements of design. Okay, so we have the elements of design. We have the scale. So tweaking size and pressure effects on your Photoshop stamp brushes can create visual interest around the scale. Then we have dominance and emphasis. While you can talk about emphasis, one thing or another, the elements of emphasis has more to do with an object, color, or style, dominating another for a heightened sense of contrast. Contrast is intriguing and it creates a focal point. If you want to test on how dominance and emphasis can change your project, try a saturated Lightroom preset like this one. Okay, so we have the dominance and the emphasis. Then we have balance. There are two schools of balance, symmetry and asymmetry. While most designers, artists, and creative folks much prefer asymmetry for its eye-catching nature, symmetry does have its place sometimes. Then we have harmony. Harmony is the main goal of graphic design. According to Alex White, author of the Elements of Graphic Design, so you know it must be important. Harmony is what you get when you all the pieces of work together. Nothing should be superfluous. Great design is just enough and never too much. Make sure all the details according with one another before you consider the project complete. So, kailangan ng harmony din sa pagde-design natin. Then we have the 7 principles of design. So now that you're familiar with the idea behind the principles of design, let's take a closer look at each of the 7 principles. How an artist uses these elements is important to the overall quality and effectiveness of their work. So this is Ginebra di Benci by Leonardo da Vinci. So principle 1, contrast. Just like in literature, visual contrast happens when different elements of a piece are noticeably different from one another. When contrasting elements or just juxtaposed or placed next to one another, it draws the viewer's attention. So dito, ang attention natin is yung color of the face. Okay, so one of the common ways artists do this by using contrasting colors close to one another. These are colors that appear on opposite sides of the color wheel from one another. But this can also be done through the size or types of objects too. So take a look at Leonardo da Vinci's work, Ginebra di Benci, pictured above. Notice the contrast of the woman's skin against the dark background of the trees. Da Vinci uses contrast to draw your eye to what he considers to be the most important part of the piece, and that is the woman's face.
Sir,
Okay, so, makita yun?
Sir.
Ana?
Kita mo, sir.
Ano makita? Makita yan? Nakita yan? Oo, makita yun?
One, sir.
One, ket kuamet. Nagdamit ito.
Adan, sir.
Yes, sir.
May adan, sir.
Okay, so this is Leonardo da Vinci's painting. So, ang pinapakita dito is the contrast. So, contrast between the face and yung background. Then next is, ganito rin, contrast, yung Jurassic Park. Then, emphasis. Hindi pala, emphasis yung pinapakita dito. So, emphasis is important for helping viewers see the most important part of a visual design. Oftentimes, we don't notice emphasis when it's all done well, but it definitely stands out when it's done poorly. For example, think about the billboards you see when you're driving down the highway. The best one put the most important information is big, bold letters, or use a related image to capture your attention. But when the type is too small or the images are too cluttered, the advertisement doesn't work as well. Okay, so the movie poster for Jurassic Park is a great example of emphasis. It puts the most important information in front and center from a glance. You know that the title and opening date of the movie, but the prominent outline of the skeleton also gives you a pretty good idea of what the movie is going to be about. And that is about the dinosaur. So, ito yung ini-emphasize niya. So it is important to note that the emphasis is closely linked to other principles of design. For example, the Jurassic Park poster uses contrast and space to create emphasis. Other posters like this one for gravity use movement, space, and contrast to do the same thing. Okay, so we have also this one. Ano yung pinapakita dito? Okay, this is pattern. Pattern naman yung pinapakita dito. Okay, so pattern happen when an object, image, or symbol is uniformly repeated throughout a visual composition. Anything can be turned into a pattern through some classic examples, including intersecting lines, shapes, and spirals. Pattern can do many things for a design. It can set the tone for the piece, like if the background features a 70s pattern or a repeating image. Like an animal, a pattern can also set the stage for other design elements. Like contrast or emphasis, In the image above, you can see how the star pattern combines with contrast to reveal a patriotic star, which becomes the emphasis of the advertisement. So ito pattern. Then we have this one, repetition. So repetition. In design, repetition is used to unify and strengthen a design. Unlike a pattern, where one thing is repeated consistently throughout the design, repetition is the repeated use of a certain elements like colors, shape, or font. Okay, so ito naman yung repetition. When repetition is used correctly, it creates consistency in a design. As a brand, Target stores are famous for their use of repetition. They use color repetition to help viewers immediately associate an advertisement with their store. A good example of this is the advertisement above, which uses the repetition of colors and shapes, the concentric circles of the Target logo to reiterate the brand. So this is concentric circles and repetition ito. Then we have this one, movement by we have Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh. Okay, movement. It can seem strange to talk about movement when some visual compositions are still images. But movements as a principle of design is about the movement of a viewer's eye across the world. Good start leads the viewer from one important element to the next. If a viewer eye tends to get stuck in one place, it's a sign that some of the principles of design doesn't working quite right. So using movement as a part of your design process is an added benefit. It helps viewers connected to what they're seeing. Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh is an excellent example of movement in the action. So in this painting, the swirls of the colors in the sky carry the viewer's gaze from left to right, which makes you feel like you're experiencing the night breeze. But on a mechanical level, Van Gogh's brush strokes create movement too. The sweeping line of the mountains, for example, help bring your eye to a village, and following the vertical lines on the plant in the foreground, return your gaze back to the sky. Then, anong nakikita nyo dito? Steve Jobs, yung Apple. Then we have here space. So in design, space refers to the area around different visual elements. There are two types of space, positive space and negative space. Positive space is the area that the subject of the composition occupies. If you go back to the Vinci's portrait above, you'll see the woman occupies a lot of the portrait positive space. As a designer, you are positive space to display the most important elements of your design. On the other hand, negative space, which is sometimes called the white space, is the space around objects. If you look back at the Jurassic Park poster, all the black surrounding the central image in the other copy is a textbook example of negative space. Negative space can be tricky for designers. Since it seems empty, but it's actually helping to create emphasis. It helps viewers quickly discern what's important while also giving a design from to breadth. Positive and negative space work together to create emphasis and visual appeal. Check out the piece above by graphic design by Jonathan Mack, which he made as a memorial to Steve Jobs after his death. Replaced with the negative space of the Apple logo, turning the normal byte mark into the profile of the company's late founder. So we have here balance. In so every element in visual composition carries weight. The more an element is emphasized, the heavier it is. A designer's goal is to balance the weight of each object on the canvas in order to create feeling of balance for the viewer. So there are two ways to do this, but through symmetrical balance and through asymmetrical balance. Symmetrical balance adds object to both sides of the center of a work to create symmetry. You can think of this as balancing a set of old-time scales. You have to add the same amount of weight to each side of to keep them level. So asymmetrical balances happens when objects and elements aren't spread evenly across the composition, but how they're placed creates a sense of balance anyway. Oftentimes, a symmetrical balance creates a sense of movement and draws your eye from one element to another. So in the photo above, you can see a symmetrical balance at work. The hand and donut are in the bottom of the image, and there's no identical image at the top. The balance here comes from the amount of negative space in the photo. By limiting the emphasized image to a small part of the picture, the photo maintains its balance. So we have the design process. So the 7 phases in the design process are in order. Okay. The pre-design phase, also known as the programming phase, this phase kicks off the design process. In the pre-design phase, the designer interfaces with the client to learn about the plot of land, any existing structures, and the client's wishes for the future building. Whenever possible, in-person site analysis gives the most accurate information for all the projects. The local zoning and the land use restriction then makes a cost estimate as part of their competitive bid to win the commission. If the parties agree on terms and the scope of the projects, they draw up a contract for the service. Then we have the schematic design phase. In this next phase, the design team begins to translate the client's wishes into a building design concept. This may involve sketches, drawings, 3D renderings, and preliminary site plans. Floor plans and building elevations. Any building system, such as HVAC and plumbing, also belong in the schematic design. Then the next phase is the design development phase. This is the phase where the design intent manifests as detailed plan. If the project requires a structural engineer, that person typically joins the team at this point. The designer also presents the client with both exterior and interior finishes, which will go atop the foundation structure. Finishes can greatly affect the total cost of a construction project as well as the project schedule. So this phase must be handled with the most degree of respect. At this point, a more realistic cost estimate will come into view. Then we have the construction document phase. In this next phase of the design process, design becomes a reality. The designer produces 2 sets of detailed drawings that specify every detail of their final design. One set is called the construction set, and it remains on the site throughout the construction process. The other set is called the permit set, which the designer sends to the local permitting authority, whether that's a city or a county. In a design-build project, the in-house construction contractor becomes involved at this point. Then we have the building permit phase. At this point, the designer must submit the permit set of drawings as part of a larger permit application. The city or county reviews the submittals for structural integrity and adherence to the zoning laws and building codes. Permitting can be one of the slowest parts of the construction process, but it protects designers, builders, and property owners from potentially dangerous construction errors. Simple construction projects in permissive municipalities can get approval in a matter of days. If you're building something ambitious or if you're building in a historic district, the permitting process can take months. Then we have the bidding and negotiable phase. So this is now optional. Okay, so if the building is a design build project that is designed and built by the same firm, there is no need to fill bids from construction contractors. If no contractor comes pre-attached, the client and the designer interview contractors and solicit competitive bids. Potential contractors sit down with the clients and the designer go through the construction drawing sets and discuss materials and schedules. Contractors seek the show-be-ready projects to keep their crews busy throughout the year. Therefore, you will have a better chance of securing a contractor and a competitive price if your project is already permitted and ready to go. And we have the last phase. So the construction administrative phase. In this final phase, the designer roles shifts from creative design to project management. While they don't physically manage the job site, they make regular site visits to ensure that the project is being executed according to their plans. The contractor and their crew assume control of the project like a film director taking over a screenwriter's script. Project budget can balloon on account of cost overruns, but with careful planning, no changes will be needed. Okay, so hanggang dito lang muna tayo. Then we will be having now the living area next time. Okay, so in dealing with your project, kailangan natin i-apply yung mga elements of design, yung mga harmonious relationship para ma-achieve natin yung design natin. Okay, next meeting, we will discuss the continuation. That is on Monday, and on Tuesday, for your design project, meron akong ipapagawa uli. So, dati ko makit kwa, agaramid kay kumati scale model. Hamet mabalin na takwa. Kaya met makapag-grupo. So, ngati ited kunto kanya yo, I will make a complete set of plan. Complete set of plan to. Using when we say complete set of plan, talaga nga kompleto. The electrical na, the plumbing na, no pay mabalin no the mechanical na, mabalin pa yung kanti mechanical. Sa detoy, kailangan tayo tikwa orientation. So di orientation no sinat sumangwan ta building no structure. Kasi di orientation na masapol tayo. So that will be discussed later on. Siguro i-discuss tayo pala muna amin dito yung topic. Then after that, dire-diretso kayo to DJ design yun. Any question?
One, sir.
Oo, individual ito. Individual yung paggagawa nyo ng design. Pero kasi sana kailangan natin gagawa sana ng scale model. Kaya lang hindi naman tayo pwedeng mag-scale model sa ngayon. So instead of having this scale model, ang gagawin ninyo is you will be going to make a plan. In which you have to incorporate yung mga elements of design. By the way, sino team makaamot ba? Ni Agrevit kanyayo.
Ni RJ, sir. Raimundo.
Kaya na Agrevit. So mabalin nga kwa Revit user nyo when no mabalin met nga AutoCAD. SketchUp para tayo 3D no ko di dya. Sige, awan concern yan. Hintay no kwan.